Let's get something straight. I'm not a philosopher. I'm not here to talk about the ethics of AI. I'm just here to try cool things. Runway Aleph. It is a thing that came out recently. Unlike video generation models, which says, I'm gonna type something and it makes a video. The idea of Runway Aleph is what I call the VFX button. You can edit a pre-existing video with a prompt. Come explore with me. It might be a fun time. This video is sponsored by Squarespace, but we are gonna talk about that later. Here I have a bunch of clips. I filmed myself. No, I filmed a tractor. I'm not a tractor. I filmed a tractor. I filmed myself talking to the vlog fam. This is actually what we're gonna try first. I want to add a cape to myself. So this is the UI. Long story short, you take a video, you drop it in. Big limitation is it only takes 5 seconds. So those 5 seconds better be good. And the process is not fulfilling, but let's just try it. Add a cape to the person. A checkerboard cape to the person. So this will almost check, does it UV map correctly? Fixie, do I want to keep the number the same? Yeah, sure, why not? Generate. To be honest, okay, does it look shitty? Like, yeah, but the physics seems to respond in a sense. And does the checkerboard kind of maintain consistency? Hard to tell because it's a blob.
No problem.
Because we have a fixed seed, I can just change the prompt and it should kind of use a similar something. Zero gravity physics. Because I don't pay to have it generate fast, I do still have the option to do 2 generations at a time. Disable fixed seed to generate. Now we got 2. In the barrel. Here we go. First example. It totally ignored the 0 gravity, and it looks significantly worse. Okay, next one. That, like, kinda.
We couldn't even impress Sonic like this.
Here's one thing everybody's been trying. I don't know if it's useful or not, but it is a good physics demo. Can we get water spilling down these stairs, almost like the apartment flooded? Add water flooding down the stairs. Generate not once, but twice. Now, this is more impressive. But I don't know, like, the more you look at it, the less sense it makes. Why is there, like, white water on one side? It's almost like the less in your face the edit is, the better it's gonna be. If it's the main element, it's gonna be low resolution. It's not gonna look great. Everything you're thinking in your head is exactly what I got. I'm chilling, you know, I'm chilling.
We should try to do better next time.
And this one's even worse. Oh, like it like boiled everything. It's not great at preserving details unless you explicitly say so. This door, which, let's see it again. There we go. It's kind of like gray and then the door itself is brown. Whereas for this footage, the thing is green, but I do like that it's almost like raining. Physics, not yet. Not yet. It's not ready. It's cool, but no.
Lackluster performance, I'd say.
Next up, we have something that, in my experience, is substantially more impressive. Here I have a shot of me, and I'm taking up, like, a significant amount of the frame. There's, like, sky behind me, there's objects that are moving, the camera's not stationary, and interestingly, there are lens flares. If you were to ask me to remove myself from the shot, I would remove myself from your project. Remove the person. And unless this thing's dumb, I think it should know that I'm the person and not the fiancé in the corner over there. 2 attempts. Okay, genuinely impressive. Genuinely impressive. I'm giving that an A+.
We're like awesome.
And honestly, if you don't know what you're looking for, you're not thinking about it too hard. And this is the worst case scenario. Now, there is another example where it created a monster. It created somebody that only exists in the hallucination. I don't like the way she's looking at me. I don't like the way she's trying to flirt. Okay, she keeps trying to show up. No, that's not right.
We can do better.
So in this shot, the focus is so clearly the dumpster. If I was to remove the grass and that passes, I think that is a testament to this being a legitimate removal tool. I could just say, like, remove the grass, and that's perfectly fine. Maybe I want to say replace, which is a totally different operation. Just kind of like play to the strength of the grass and say, like, make a garden. Replace the grass with a small garden. I don't want to go overboard, and I'm worried that the word lush will, like, draw attention and add all these, like, eye-catching flowers. I know what what we can do is we can find a image reference that may help. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to save the image and say use this garden. How do I want to say this? Replace the grass with a small garden from the photo. And I think this is one that would benefit for multiple generations. I assume it would look very different each time. So, and I'm just going to state the obvious, the bush is dissolving, but everything else at its extremely low resolution is tracking on correctly. So minus the bush, which we can also say to remove, I think that's pretty convincing, except for the intense amount of magnolia in the shot.
Not bad.
And then here we have a totally different one. And honestly, what I'm most impressed by is the tracking. In fact, I had an idea to use Aleph to maybe like replace the background with a tracking stage. And maybe that in itself is something you can track and whatever. The path kind of goes into a brick wall unless it goes underground. The more you look at it, the less sense it makes.
Satisfactory level.
So I think I can confidently say removal could be a use case in the next few months if they up the resolution, and upscaling's not enough. It's not enough. Next up, I want to try something where we preserve the video. Like I'm almost saying change nothing but a material property. Take this rolling cabinet and make it out of metal. So maybe like swap the wood with metal. Keep everything else the same. I don't know if texture would or wouldn't help. I think it might. So generation 1 in a way is quite good, but it made this like hole right here that didn't exist. But the hand mask, not bad. And what's very interesting is this pink slip that has been maintained quite well. Let's check out the other one. Yeah, I think one thing to note is you see this pink slip and this shadow that's actually also a reflection. The reflection is updating. That did not exist on the wood. Again, I don't know about this lighting, but it is changing as it's tilting, which I think is honestly quite impressive.
Too shabby.
Very last one before I get to final thoughts is I want to take this ground, which initially the idea was to put a pole or like some ground cracking or whatever, take the asphalt sidewalk and replace it with something like a wood floor or maybe even beach sand. Really, I'm just asking, can I make something realistic with the same motion? And I'm going to say swap the, is it asphalt? Well, what are sidewalks made out of? Concrete or pavement? Concrete material with sand, keep everything else, which is just the corner of this building over here. This will be our final test. Time for the big finale. This one, like, you can tell it's sand, but I do know because I looked that the second generation is much more impressive, except for the distortion part, which is interesting because there wasn't even like a sewer grate over here. On a per frame basis, not too bad.
Just average.
I want to go over some final thoughts. First of all, every single generation you saw, the ones I generated live, all of that took about an hour and a half. I don't pay for their credit system, which makes it faster, but it's untenable because you have to pay an amount every single time you do a generation, yet you have no guarantee that it will listen to what you're saying. So you have to keep re-rolling again and again and again. But as for the actual thing, I am a believer that this is really, really interesting. And for certain operations, specifically removal or swapping, it is good. Another just random thing is Runway Aleph, which sounds like a weird thing to call it. That's the first letter in the Hebrew alphabet. So it's like ABCD, same with Hebrew. And what that means is if they ever make a version 2, the second letter is bet. And that sounds so stupid, Runway bet. So think about that before you update. That is the current state of this. That is what exists. But you know what is fully realized and actually usable and works right now? The sponsor of this video, Squarespace, which is a service to make websites super easily. cgmatter.com, which is my website, is made entirely with Squarespace. And for my use case, this is basically a website where I host blend files and make like write-ups for things. And Squarespace makes that easy to do because they have a built-in payment integration system. It's called Squarespace Payments. These posts are basically things that I write on some object and then add renders and GIFs and whatever to. So the fact that there is an asset library, that has been super useful because you can just directly link inside your web page maker. And then finally, you know, this is a video about AI, and it turns out that Squarespace also has AI, but the use case for this one is you can use it to quickly, you know, generate a look for your website, fill in certain like filler content that you're like, I know what I want. All of that exists. You can go over to Squarespace to make a website, and when you're ready to launch that, you can use this link in the description to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Hopefully it gets this software or whatever gets better in the future. Goodbye.